even steering? What is happening here?
When your wife doesn't let you play drums in the house, this is exactly what happens. You have to go out onto the street and turn your, whatever that is, that four-wheeler into a drum kit.
That is some Mad Max type stuff.
He was supposed to be a high wire act. I looked it up. That was called the Drums of Death. And it was supposed to be in like a circus act somewhere. That's a real thing.
This guy is...
That's a real thing. Shout out Bill's
extra.
And
Toy Story.
Shout out to whoever took Woody and Buzz from Toy Story. I don't know if the driver actually did this. Someone put them, are they taped or is this real?
Either way, I want to be this person's friend.
I would freak out if I saw this.
Yeah, they have figured out the key to happiness.
The 90s in me is screaming for this to be real.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Well done by you.
Yeah.
Just in case you thought this was Photoshop, this is a real rabbit. He's alive. See that?
That is a real
Ain't no Photoshop. This is huge. Giant Flemish.
That rabbit.
Boy!
That's from the island, the Skull Island from King Kong.
No, I mean, can something be cute and terrifying at the same time?
Yes, that's a top 5 animal that if you're out at the bar and you want to like convince someone, I have a cool animal at home, that's in there. That's on the list.
Yeah, okay. I've never actually had that conversation. But,
I think about that a lot.
Clearly.
Okay. Welcome back. The reason why we show you these videos, as always, is because Buckets is not just a basketball culture, it is a lifestyle.
He's Rob, I'm Cassidy, and on the show we celebrate greatness and dedicate this show to the 25th anniversary of NBA Jam. Plus, we all fan out over posterization dunks, but there's also an art to being posterized. And have you ever wondered what it would be like if Jesus Shuttlesworth played Sidney Dean?
One-on-one?
Yeah, 1v1.
Okay.
Wow. Well, we have, and we'll show you the best basketball movie matchups. All that and more. This is Buckets. In celebration of the 25th anniversary of NBA Jam, we are going to examine just how significant this game has been to the basketball world in the latest edition of WAB Files.
My theory is NBA Jam changed the game of basketball forever.
Why it's one of the greatest of all time.
Yes, and we have 5 different explanations to this hypothesis. The first of which is threes and dunks. What happens in NBA Jam? You shoot threes.
Right.
And you dunk the basketball. You don't take mid-range jumpers. That's just not the way this game is. Who has ever taken a mid-range jumper in NBA Jam? Now, if you're someone like the Houston Rockets, they have a direction from their executives that says, all we want you to do is shoot threes. It's an analytics dream right here.
It is.
Because the best shot in the game is the corner 3 or at the rim. Look at their shot chart. Look, there is no mid-range there whatsoever at all. And the number 2 way NBA Jam has changed the game, Steph Curry. Okay, in NBA Jam, you cross half court and you just jack up wild shots, especially if you're on fire, just like the Warriors do. You don't even take the wide open layup. You run to the 3-point line if you're on fire and you just shoot it from 35 feet. He has changed the game into, why would I shoot a layup when I can just run 40 feet and just press the circle button and it's gonna go in? Because every time that dude shoots the ball, it's the flames and it goes in. Everyone thinks they can do it.
On fire is Steph Curry mode.
Number 3, the shoes. Watch this.
Pippen, is it the shoes?
The famous line is it the shoes?
Must be the shoes.
This game, when you pressed the turbo button, your shoes would change to the color of your jersey.
Yeah.
It was the first time that we saw like real basketball shoe culture come about in terms of being different other than just the normal whites, which we saw forever.
But they're basically like the human form of turbo in the grand scheme of the game.
All right, moving on, we have super teams. When you got to the player selection screen, what did you do in NBA Jam? Get your 2 best perennial all-stars and build around them. Everyone else is expendable. All that matters is these 2. Look at James Harden's defense, by the way. That's disrespectful.
So bogus.
That is disrespectful.
Who'd you play with?
Starks and Ewing.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
I see, since I couldn't play with Jordan, I usually went with Karl Malone, John Stockton. Or, because I love me some Grandmama, Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning. That was also a dope team.
So it started with the duos. Get your stars, because that's all that matters. There is no such thing
teams
as...
only work with multiple stars.
And finally, the terminology.
Boom shakalaka!
Boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. Razzle dazzle.
Yep.
What else?
Wild shots.
Yes.
Baseline laner.
How many times are we saying these?
Count it.
Count it. How many times are we saying these
Tenacious
words?
D.
Not only broadcasters on top of
dunk.
NBA games, but in real
Slamma-jamma.
pickup games. I don't say slamma-jamma in
From
pickup games.
downtown.
You say from downtown when you're playing pickup. All of
Get
those,
that outta
all those
here.
famous. It's usually get that blank out of here, but
Whoop,
that
there
works
it
too.
is.
Are you just gonna name every single one?
Yeah, that's the whole point of this.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of
nail
things
in the
that we
coffin.
continue to say in today's basketball.
The Monster
We will
Jam.
continue to say it, and you'll have someone like Cassidy who's just hyping you up with
He's
NBA
on
Jam words.
fire. That you could say that was the line.
It's 2018 now.
Yeah.
It has been 25 years.
Either way, all these lines
We're still saying them.
are classic. And now, a banger.
Welcome to NBA Jam. Boom shakalaka. Spectacular dunk.
Serving up a facial.
Delivering a facial.
Rejected.
Rejected. Fancy move. No way.
Wide open. Yep. From downtown.
He's heating up. Come on. Is it the shoe?
Wild shot.
He's on fire. Look out. Alexander. Swish.
So we all know pulling off a poster dunk takes extreme talent and skill, which we'll paint for you in the anatomy of a posterization.
Here comes Chris Paul. The lob. The jam! Oh, what a monster jam by DeAndre Jordan!
Every poster dunk starts with the point of no return. It's at this moment the defending player has a choice. They can either, 1, contest the dunk, or 2, process a business decision to protect their career. If the defender declares contest, we move to last call.
Definition of a split
Last
decision.
call is exactly what goes down when you're out partying. You got a couple minutes to collect your thoughts and decide if you're into this night for the long haul, or if it's time to just leave now.
Uber X or Uber Black?
Buckle your seatbelts, because if your defense does not meet the minimum requirements to prevent the poster hunter from locking onto its prey, you are going for a ride that you will never forget. We have now reached the Steve Carell portion of the programming, where the defender is lying on his back, contemplating his poor decision, and subconsciously tells himself nobody cares about what just happened.
No.
Nope, this is
Everybody
going to be
cares.
bad. And before we glorify what just occurred,
how long is he on the ground
let's
for?
make sure everyone's health is in order.
Yes.
This is the Band of Brothers. If Band of Brothers does not occur and the victim is exposed in the wild, he becomes vulnerable to levels of basketball
Even more
disrespect
disrespect.
that can cause immediate retirement.
Dang, Stack.
And finally, once helped up off the floor comes the walk of shame. A time for reflection, contemplation, and regret. You're going viral for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Just remember, it's not about how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get back up.
And now, a banger. Yeah, let's do this.
I'm about to hold this out.
Haven't
so you
played
know.
this in a minute,
All right, let's
but
go.
we're gonna get after
Let's
it.
go. You're not playing with the Bulls.
No.
You're just like the '94 Bulls. You're too scared to play
There's
Stars
no
and Ewing without
Jordan.
Jordan. Listen to you. You're a typical Bulls fan.
Okay, Grandmama, let's go.
Tonight's matchup, Hornets versus Knicks.
How do I do this?
Today's
oh,
in.
shoot. I play no D.
Nice defense,
I'm playing
Cleveland.
some e-fence out
You
here.
playing with the Cavs or you playing with the Hornets?
Get out of here.
Block my
Oh, I did.
Block
And jam. Shakalaka.
buckets.
Oh, you're on fire. Give me that.
And one.
The
You're gonna
game
barn
just
burner.
stopped.
No, it's the end of, in basketball, they play 4 quarters. They play 4 quarters. Oh!
Full court.
Yeah! No way. No way. We got no. Oh.
Damn! I'm on fire!
Thank
Son
you.
of a
Thanks,
gun.
Mark. Oh.
No.
Here. Hold on. Sit back. I'm gonna show you something. Give me that. Stop. Stop. Look at
no.
you. You're just jumping. Look at you. You're just jumping around.
Oh, shoot.
Give me that. There's a little showtime first. Something for you to remember. What happened? What
Did you hear
happened?
that little sound? That
Did I
was
miss?
so sad. Muggsy can dunk.
There's a little.
Knicks win the game.
Oh,
Would you like
won.
to say the score before we go? That says New York 50, Charlotte 36. W's. L.
So you remember in NBA Jam when you can enter special codes and unlock, hidden players like AA, BB, AA, BB?
First of all, that's the Aladdin cheat code.
I know.
You just dropped an Aladdin cheat code. Anyone that's played Sega Genesis, that ABBA,
Yep.
the cheat level.
I know.
I see you.
I know.
I didn't even know you were going to say that.
That was the only cheat code I knew. Okay, so what if you could unlock characters from the best basketball movies of all time? Well, we did in our first team all buckets NBA Jam basketball movie tournament. Our number one duo, Billy Hoyle and Sidney Dean.
White Men Can't Jump. The Denison Menace of Venice Beach. This is the most obvious duo probably in movie history.
Okay, so is this their duo before or after Rosie Perez, Gloria, won Jeopardy? Because there's a difference. Because one, Sidney's heart was in it, and the other, it was not.
And that's also post Gloria on Jeopardy. That's when Billy dunked too. So you have Dunky finally threw down Billy.
So and
they get along.
Argument's sake, let's say it's post.
That's the best duo.
Okay,
That's
well, we'll
Starks and
see.
Ewing from
Let's
94.
go through the other ones.
That's the team Jordan didn't want to play.
Okay, well, what about number 2 on the list? Of course, Quincy McCall and Monica Wright.
This is the real Romeo and Juliet to every true hooper out there.
I'll play for you. For what?
What do you mean?
Your heart.
Oh, you see, I didn't actually know what you were getting at.
Gotcha. All is fair in love and basketball.
Yeah,
You can tell this is my favorite movie.
Let's set the bar for what I want in relationship.
Who are you going to the dance with? Spalding?
Sanaa Lathan, Lord have mercy. This is what every rom-com movie should be.
Chill out over there.
Okay.
Up next, he got game. Jesus Shuttlesworth and Jake Shuttlesworth.
The key to this duo is Jake's got to stay out of jail. Because in the movie, he's like back and forth. Jesus can't carry the team by himself.
No.
And granted, they have like one hell of a one-on-one game.
Yeah.
Jake needs to be the complementary piece to what Jesus, like he never had that in the movie.
Yes.
He's got to have it on the court, otherwise this team's going to get blown.
And Jesus needs to stay off the internet. Next, Above the Rim and Shep and Birdie.
There's a Shaq and Kobe kind of feel to the two of them that, they're rooting for each other. Yeah, they're rooting for each other, but they're kind of not. In the end, they have the same ultimate goal. Long story short, Tupac needed to be in more movies.
Yeah. Speaking of people who need to be in more movies, Michael Jordan, who was not in NBA Jam. So our Space Jam duo is Bugs Bunny and Lola Bunny.
You know you're going to get Bugs' flu game with Lola playing. Is it weird if I had a thing for Lola Bunny? I had a thing for Lola Bunny. I'm coming clean. I had a thing for Lola Bunny.
I mean, yeah, she was, she had it going on.
She was the love. This is Love and Basketball in cartoon form. This is what I saw.
This is Love and Basketball before Love and Basketball was Love and Basketball.
Right
She does.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Talk about having real bunnies. Those two.
Nice pun.
Thank you. Okay, what about, this is a formidable duo. Blue Chips. Butch McRae and Neon Budeau. Everyone from Louisiana is going to hate us after this. Either way, Shaq and Penny.
Regardless, this is the overwhelming, heavy favorite to this game. You have Penny Hardaway and Shaq.
Right.
You have the two best talents,
when they
not
still
only in the
liked
movie.
each other.
Yeah, and this is in the 90s too.
Yeah.
If this team doesn't win any hypothetical basketball tournament, whether it's NBA Jam on paper or NBA Street, whatever it is, this is the team to beat.
And lastly, I think the most powerful duo, Air Bud and Teen Wolf. I know they're not the same movie, but if we're gonna take two of the greatest animals who play basketball, it's Air Bud and Teen Wolf.
This is the rookies team in NBA Jam. How do you guard Air Bud in transition 2-on-2? The equivalent of what they changed hockey to 3-on-3 overtime.
John Wall would look like a sloth.
Yeah, Air Bud is breaking out in fast break every time. You got no chance of guarding this dude. Granted, he's gonna have to dribble with his mouth, and that's a little bit of a problem. But you also have Teen Wolf as
he can dribble with those. Did
Little
Air Bud have little basketball shoes on?
I don't think they made those. That's like a millennial thing.
Good. I'm glad that's not the case. I forget.
Back in the day, they didn't make little shoes for dogs.
Who would you have in your finals?
Blue Chips versus White Men Can't Jump. And White Men Can't Jump because I can't trust Jake Shuttlesworth to stay on the court long enough with Ray. They're going to end up fighting before they get to the finals.
Okay.
And then I feel like White Men Can't Jump versus Blue Chips is exactly how White Men Can't Jump ended. They were going up against the two like best players at Venice Beach. Could they beat Shaq and Penny?
So that would be the most talented finals. The finals I would want to see is Bugs Bunny and Lola Bunny versus Air Bud and Teen Wolf. Because, I mean, that just sounds amazing.
That would be a lot of fun. That's the sequel.
That should be Space Jam 2.
That's the sequel.
Thank you.
Rest in peace,
and you're welcome.
Okay.
Wherever movie studio. Speaking of animals.
Yeah. Oh, can we finish that conversation we had at the beginning? The 5 animals that would make me want to be like, I'm coming over and seeing your animal is sea otter, penguin. Sea otter's number 1. Sea otters are the coolest animals ever.
Sea otters are the coolest.
Sea otter and penguin. I'd like giraffes. I want to see a giraffe in person.
But how are you going to get? How do you have a giraffe in your New York apartment?
High ceilings, even more impressive. I get to show off my super high ceilings.
I didn't know you were Bloomberg all of a sudden. Okay.
If it requires me to get a giraffe,
I guess I would want a panda, a gorilla, and
what about a koala?
A rhino. Hit us up in the comment section with your thoughts on.
Don't undersell it. This is important.
Okay, the animal you want to show off.
Think of your most important animals that you would want to have at home. If you could have a pet. I think about that all the time.
Okay, more importantly, let us know your favorite basketball movie duo. And then your thoughts on, how NBA Jam changed the NBA today.
Stay petty, get buckets or die trying, as always.
And all is fair in love and basketball.